it works. Counselor Wolverton?
Here.
Counselor Gear? Counselor Sims? Counselor Nelms?
Here.
And Counselor Harden?
Here.
So you have 2 absent, but you have 3 as well. You got a quorum.
Yes, thank you. Can I have a motion to dispense the reading and approval of the minutes from May 1st, 2023?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Nelms, second by Counselor Harden. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 3-0. And we just have new business, 130523, request for permission to work in the city right of way along Evergreen Avenue and Highland Road.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Hatcher's here, he's the engineer on the project. Dawson came to the planning commission in December of '22 and got amended a development plan to allow for what they're proposing to happen, which is basically to infill this, and Brian can talk more about it than me, but basically to infill this courtyard area and stair, and then to renovate the building that's on the left. I don't know what that building's called.
Is Oxmoor on the north end of that?
Oxmoor's on the side.
Oxmoor's down here, and this is Evergreen.
Evergreen.
And Highland.
Do you mind signing one, sir? Either before or after you talk.
So basically, this project came out of a need of, if you've been in Dawson or Baptist, the existing building here and the main sanctuary, the floors are offset. So ADA access through the building was almost non-existent without a lot of hurdles back and forth. So what we're proposing doing is they're gonna demo the entire western building and build an entire new building back in its place.
Wow.
Line all the floors up. And they're doing a lot of sanctuary work as well and creating a new corridor that goes all the way through front to back, enclosing this area and adding steps, because much like this side doesn't line up exactly everywhere as well. So what we've proposed to do in the right-of-way is the western building has a drop-off roughly in this area. We're proposing to demolish that drop-off, add a new drop-off right here, and then it's got a ADA accessible ramp up to new doors in this corner. It's kind of the goal of this project was to get ADA access in and out of the building. And then there's the new transformers in the rear on Highland. It's got a fence that encloses it. And then the last thing in the right-of-way is redoing the sidewalks that are existing back to kind of where they were. There's a new grand entrance here and an entrance here, and kind of creating a concrete plaza at those 2 entrances. And then we've got some utility work in the right-of-way.
The transformers in the right of way.
The transformer's not. The right-of-way line is actually right there. The transformer's on private property, but the fence goes right up to the right-of-way line just to get the clearances.
And you're losing those parking spaces in the back.
We're losing the existing parking spaces right here, and then we're actually gonna lose them all the way down just because it got so cumbersome, people in and out. By the time you added a new doorway here and a large new doorway here, you ended up with 1 or 2 little spots kind of stubbed off, and it's our understanding they may go to more of a valet type ADA anyway, outside of these front.
Are you saying, I can't obviously read it from here, but is there a sidewalk still gonna be on the southerly side of Manhattan?
Of Highland? There?
Right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Manhattan Highland.
Yes.
Street. I think it's actually Manhattan, so you get to the intersection.
Okay. Yes, it is right there. That's the sidewalk all the way
Okay,
down,
good.
and it ties back to the existing one.
What's the hatched lines in the street, the public right of way?
Oh, that's just asphalt pavement. That's
Okay.
just calling out the different type of asphalt pavement. This is standard duty, and that's signifying heavy duty. That's just
Because it's on the street.
because it's on the street and it's more vehicular.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's my next question.
it's just a thicker section.
How long will the sidewalk on Evergreen, is that Evergreen?
This is everywhere here. Yes.
How long will that sidewalk be closed?
That's a good question. Right, the way the project is scheduled and the way the drawings are done right now, the construction fence is actually on the property line to try to leave it open as much as
That's what I
possible.
wanted to hear, because that's the only sidewalk we have on that street.
The one interesting thing is they are putting a basement in this building to line all the floors up, and so it will have it's got shoring in it to try to keep as much
I
open.
got you.
street and sidewalk wise as we can.
That was my concern, just with it being the only connector, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of middle school traffic that walks through there in the afternoons, them not having a sidewalk to walk on.
And we can
If
work,
they
we can work with that.
Okay.
Was that? We're not doing that.
Wow, that's a
That
big
close
project.
range. That's a big project.
It's a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah, what is the timeline from kind of projected start to finish?
I could have told you an answer probably 3 months ago. They're looking at changing contractors in the process of what they're doing. So we did the design build with the contractor. They're looking at other options of the contractor actually building it. So I don't know the exact time frame. I know there's a budget issue. They may come back and only do this portion once they get all the bids in and figure all that out.
Which portion?
The portion, not the building. This being the most expensive part.
Oh, yeah.
If it comes back way over budget, that will be the part that gets left.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
Okay, so it's not a foregone conclusion that the entirety of what we're discussing is going forward.
it is
but-
not, however, they're looking at other contractors trying to get it to be that way.
Sure.
That ain't tithing.
What'd you say?
Everybody needs to tie.
Baptists are good at it. One of the best.
I guess I understand the hatched work right here. What are the legs going up on the?
Those are utilities.
So it's utilities
So,
across the street.
so there's a water line in the road out here, so we're taking a new water line to the building. So where we have to cut the pavement to
Gotcha.
get the new water line, we're putting it back. That's kind of what that's showing. You've got water and sewer going that direction.
Who are you with?
I guess LBYD, civil engineering firm.
Myrick Corral.
Thanks for all the detail. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
I need to define right-of-way work.
Okay.
Here's what I've written down.
Okay.
Tell me how I need to fix it. Demolish existing drop-off area,
Yes, sir.
construct a new drop-off area,
Yes, sir.
rework sidewalks on Highland.
Highland and Evergreen.
Are you gonna close the sidewalk on Evergreen?
Only temporarily, probably just to cut it and put it back.
And do utility work on Highland?
Yes, sir.
Anything else in the right-of-way?
Nothing out of the ordinary. You got the entrance for the parking lot.
The parking stalls on Evergreen.
The
Or
parking.
is the right of way? Gonna disappear.
Oh yeah, those existing parking spots are going away.
Okay. Okay.
There is
Drop off is over the place.
one little piece of sidewalk right there that's in the right of way on Highland. That's getting an ADA access from their existing parking lot.
Well, they
down
got
to the
rework
street.
sidewalks on Highland and
So-
Evergreen.
so that would be
As
fine.
depicted in this drawing. Is that covered?
Yes, sir. Other than that, it'd be utility work, water lines, gas lines.
Is all
Power.
utility work on the Highlands?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sewer's actually out front in the grass, so we don't have to go in the street for it.
One more time. Demolish existing drop-off area, and that's on Evergreen?
That's on Evergreen.
Construct a new drop-off area on Evergreen.
Yes, sir.
Rework sidewalks on Highland and Evergreen.
Yes, sir.
Temporary closed sidewalk on Evergreen.
Yes, sir.
Utility work on Highland.
Temporary closed sidewalk on Highland.
Good utility work.
Utility.
Utility work.
Yes, utility work on Highland. But you had temporary sidewalk closure on Evergreen. You got it on Highland as well.
Okay.
And then demolishing existing parking spots on Highland are your other two things.
Some that's
Because
in the
you
right of
got
way.
these angled, yeah, you got the tips of these angled parking spots in the right of way.
That's on Highland?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
And so there's nothing along Oxmoor that will be.
No, no.
Even the sewer you mentioned is in.
The sewer actually runs through that area right there. We tie to a manhole right there in the middle of that.
But not out to the
Pavers,
sidewalk.
not out
of
into the
street.
sidewalk, that's correct.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, the right-of-way line would be that bold line you see,
right.
so.
Do you have an estimated time? I know you said that you were waiting on new bids, but.
I'm not really involved in that part of it.
Okay.
We originally were gonna start in August, but I'm gonna bet it's November-ish.
Okay, so No conflict with We Love Homewood Day or anything like that.
I'm sure they'll work with whatever day you got.
Well, it might still be going on that long, though, right?
I mean,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's gonna be a 18 months.
Oh,
It's an
yeah.
18-month construction, yeah.
It's a big project.
Yeah, it's a pretty big project.
I mean, if they redo that whole building, rebuild it.
Yeah.
So, Councilor Walton, in light of our conversations about road closures for races and whatnot, this is a common route back behind the church there, isn't it?
It was closed this morning. I think it'll be closed all week this week for BPS. It was
Pick up, drop
pretty
off.
nice to have notice too. It was a bit chaotic this morning. I needed to add 10 minutes to my commute. Not
Yeah.
bad, but.
Yeah, I just don't, I don't know, given the question marks about how much of the project's still going forward. I mean, do we look to approve all of it right now without a timeline given? Do we?
Well, I guess the question would be, is there anything, any of the work in the right of way that's gonna go away, potentially go away?
No, the right-of-way work's still there.
Even if,
Other than the drop
even if
off.
the building doesn't get
Other than
done.
that one little drop off, everything else is pretty much still there. We've still gotta bring a new utility service in the back, because they're redoing the sprinkler systems. We still gotta bring fire and everything else in.
Okay.
Here's it's really, I think it's really just up to you. If the drawing changes in any way, you gotta come back.
Yeah, and that's fine. As of right
We-
now,
we
I
gotta,
don't.
we gotta start over, cause that'll be attached to the
I think that's fine.
resolution. So if you wanna wait to make sure it's the way that it is, if not, you gotta come back and we gotta go through the whole thing again for a number of weeks.
I think
But if
that's
you're good
fine.
with that, then I'd say go ahead and send it out.
I think that's fine.
Okay, I'll make a motion to send it out to, city council without it.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have a public hearing attached to it, so you can send it out one way or the other.
Right, with its, identification,
out
it's a big word.
with approval.
Takes a minute.
Second.
Motion to approve pending identification agreement, is that what you're saying?
Yes. Motion by Counselor Hart, second by Counselor Nelms. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that is a 3-0, Melody.
Okay.
And with that, we stand adjourned.